Hello, I'm Nola, and today I would like to take you on a journey about snakes. I will be referring to my notes as I simply don't have the ability to remember everything that I've written. So here we go. Why does the snake show up in your dream? That may be a question. Why does it show up in your garden? Have you seen a beautiful snake or tattoo on somebody? And you are wondering why you are constantly seeing snakes in your life. So the question to ask is, what is it about you that needs to change, to become more flexible, and to adapt with the changes that are coming to your life? As you know, a snake does not have a skeletal system, so therefore it makes it very flexible. It also has to shed its skin several times a year and throughout its lifetime. And there are also different kinds of snakes. A puff adder, for example, may have a different meaning to a water moccasin or a cobra or a python or the regular garden variety of snake. And in Africa, I think it's South Africa, the green mamba, as it's known. What do these snakes mean in your life? Now, there's a lot of mythology that surrounds the snake, and many cultures have been fascinated, for good or bad, for centuries. The Greeks have always associated the snake with wisdom and healing. And if you are in the medical profession, then the catechist has a snake also. So what do we get to take away from the Hindus and Hinduism and Kundalini energy? And how does this relate to you? That's the question here, right? How does the snake that keeps showing up, or snakes that keep showing up in your life, what is it that you are supposed to hear, supposed to be aware of? If it is a poisonous snake, you have to ask yourself about the enemies in your life or people that are not quite trustworthy. So you have to be cautious with whom you give and share your information with, who you share your dreams and your plans and your hopes with. And also it might be a symbol that you need to tread carefully in your life. And now I need to go to my notes. So in biblical times, you know, the story of the Garden of Eden and the snake and what that represents, and so on. So where are you being tempted and tried? Might be the other thing. And as far as I know, the kind of snake that you dream of, maybe you see a picture of writhing snakes and you're wondering what that's about. So the way that dreams can be interpreted, are on an individual basis. What are you being asked to let go of? As we have moved into a new year, for most people, the holidays are behind us now. Some people in certain countries still on vacation. And so what are the moves that you need to make in this new year? How do you need to navigate the changes in the world, both collectively and individually? What is it that we need to learn from the snake? And so dreaming of the snake can have a lot of meaning for you as an individual, depending on the dream and the different elements of the snake in the dream. Were you bitten by the snake? Did you kill the snake? Were you being chased by a snake? If you post your questions below, I promise you that I will answer them. And what are some of the hidden threats and warnings in your life? I believe I've already, mentioned that. What kind of healing and transformation do you need to work on? What are your emotions at the moment? What are you dealing with? What are you struggling with? Are you struggling with anger? Have you been hurt and having a hard time letting go? Not just of people and places, but also of things. What is it that you're trying to shed, or the universe is showing you that you need to shed, that you are having a difficult time letting go of? There's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment in that. It just is. Throughout our lives, we are constantly shedding. From the time we are young people that might go off to trade school or university, and then we marry and we become husbands and wives and mothers and fathers. And all along we are brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles. And we are met with different circumstances in our lives, and we are constantly changing to adapt. And that's where the flexibility of the snake comes into play also. Are you flexible? Or are you too rigid? Are you constantly throwing yourself up against the same closed door instead of moving on? Because endings also mean new beginnings. And as difficult as change is, I personally dislike change, but that's the times that I've learned and accomplished some of the best lessons and things in my life. So what is it about the snake that keeps showing up in your life is the question that you need to ask. Also, when you come across a snake, instinctively you jump. So what is your intuition trying to tell you? And collectively, in this year of 2025, which for numerology adds up to a 9-year, meaning endings, I believe for us collectively, the world and many things in the world will change beyond recognition this year. And then in our own personal lives, what is coming to an end? Has your last child graduated high school and gone to university, or you're an empty nester? Is your baby beginning school this year and you don't know how to handle that? Are your children moving to another country and will be far away from you? What are the changes that you need to adjust to and adapt? What is coming to an end? Is it a relationship, a marriage, a profession? Are you going into retirement? What are some of the things that you're struggling with? And hence, the symbolism of the snake keeps showing up to ask you or to guide you to dig a little deeper and see what ails you and how you can navigate this period of your life. Some of the questions that you may need to ask yourself: how did you feel in the dream? Were you fearful? Were you calm? Were you cautious? Were you anxious? If this may also help to reveal how you perceive threats, like what is threatening your life at the moment. And finally, what's happening in your life that is making you feel threatened and vulnerable, and how do you address that? And what tools do you need to go forward, to move forward? It's not easy, I know. So what can we learn from the snake would be the other question that one would need to ask. First, growth often requires letting go. Yeah, I know, it's painful, it's difficult, it's hard, some of it is awful. In your wildest dreams, you couldn't have imagined being in the situation that you're in. And secondly, transformation is often a slow process. It does not happen overnight, right? So what processes for transformation, what changes do you need to make? Because nothing that I tell you can change anything unless you make the effort to make the change. And it takes hard work, and often it's difficult. Will be like peeling onions, when you're crying through some of it and laughing through others, parts of it. The snake teaches us to navigate these contrasts with wisdom and grace. In conclusion, the snake is far more than a creature slithering through the wild. It is a timeless symbol of transformation. It really is. Think of how many times it has to shed its skin, right? Growth and renewal, reminding us that change is an inevitable part of our lives. As we go through our own cycles of growth, may we remember the lessons of the snake, to shed the old, embrace the new, and move forward with wisdom and strength. Thank you for being here today. Please don't feel afraid to post your questions. I will answer them. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until the next time. Take care, and thank you for spending the time with me. Bye now.